Hello everyone, welcome to RCD ShareNet, a YouTube platform we use to share information and resources with the community and with people with disabilities. A lot of people ask us, we encounter a lot of people every day, then we must have learned a bit of the different situations people are experiencing. That is entirely true because everyone has different stories. So some people suggest to us, well, maybe we can share some of the stories. It may not be entirely applicable to your situation, but that may be some inspiration or some enlightenment that you can use in your own processing, say, looking for disability benefits or other types of benefits. So today I'm going to kind of share with you a case. So it is I use a hypothetical name for the person, and the details of the stories and also I pick and from other stories and combine them into one. So sometimes you may think, wow, the situation is complicated, and that's the case, but it is not a true story. I just want to let you know that. So today we're sharing the story, the hypothetical one of Mary. So that is a slide that I kind of put together and outline what Mary has been going through just recently. So Mary is a person receiving the provincial disability benefits. That is normally when we say they have a PWD designation. So person with disability designation. That means the person is receiving disability benefits. And Mary is also working full-time. So some people may wonder, how can you work full-time and then have disability benefits? So not to forget, from some of our previous sharing, we say that the PWD designation enabled the recipient to get financial assistance because of a disabling condition, the disability. However, the government also wants to encourage the person to work. So for that provision, the BC government has allowed the individual to make $1,000 a month without affecting the benefits. And the way they do work is they call it the annualization of the wages. So the person will be able to work maybe part-time, full-time, it doesn't matter, and then they have salary, and the salary will be cumulative until they reach $12,000. That is on average $1,000 a month. And then the government will deduct from the disability benefits dollar for dollar. So that is the exemption, we call it the income exemption for people with disabilities doing work. And so unfortunately, Mary was involved in a car accident and resulted in unable to work. And then with no known cure time, so they don't know that. So very possible maybe a concussion or a kind of an injury that is kind of rather severe, that the person cannot work. So Mary in this case cannot work. If Mary doesn't have a full-time job and then just on PWD designation, the car accident may not have any impact on the financial side of the benefits. But Mary has a job. Not only that, the company she's working with also provide her with a long-term disability. So it all depends on the individual company employers that you're working with, whether they have the health benefits or other kind of benefits, such as that insurance policy. And in this one, Mary has a long-term disability from the workplace through an insurance policy. And then the insurance policy is also depending on the negotiation of the company with the insurance company and the employer, because they depend on what policy they have taken out, then they will receive different benefits. So in this case, we assume that, that is a long-term disability policy there. So how does it affect Mary's benefits? Now, we talk about Mary already has a monthly salary. And because of the conditioned injury sustained from the car accident, then she can no longer work, so that is no salary. But instead, that is a long-term disability. So that is a money that given to Mary to support her livelihood. However, very soon, Mary finds out that they actually has an impact on her disability benefits. How so? Because, when you look at the long-term disability, it is considered as unearned income. Unearned income means that is not through employment. So it is not employment income. When it is not employment income, that is not no income, employment income exemption. So they generally just call it unearned income. That also includes, like if you have money paid out from, say, like maybe from the estate will of a family member, or a gift from someone, and that you received the money, but you have not done anything. That is not an employment. So in that case, it's called an earned income. And the government actually will deduct it dollar for dollar with no exemption. So whatever amount that Mary is receiving from the long-term disability, it is deducted from her monthly disability benefits. Actually, to the point that she received nothing from the disability benefit. So what is the consequence, a possible consequence of that? So we can look at the next slide and to see the possible consequences. So number one is the entire disability amount. The entire amount of the disability benefits may be reduced to zero. Like I say, it's because it's dollar for dollar reduction, and that is no exemption. So not like the employment income, there's exemption. And then may also lose the $375 portion of the benefits. So that is a shelter portion of that. And because then when they reduce it, you also reduce the shelter portion. And to Mary's surprise, she also doesn't get the bus pass. So within the disability benefits, so the government will take out $52 to buy the monthly bus pass. So it is not entirely free, but it is not the full amount. So it's a little bit less than half price of the bus pass involved. And then so the person can use the bus pass. And because of the reduction of dollar for dollar benefits, there's nothing left in the disability benefits. And that is nothing to deduct for the bus pass. And all of a sudden, Mary also loses her bus pass. So here is, if it is for short term, that might be, the way to handle that is to maybe buy your own bus pass if she plans to go out every day or to, travel to work or whatever. But if Mary has a handy pass, then with the handy pass, then you can buy the bus pass at half price. So that is slightly, little bit, a few dollars more than the $52, depending on the zones. So you need to look at that. But if it's for long term, that might have an impact on Mary financially. And the other things that we also look at is because now she's in a, what we call it is a legal proceeding with the car accident. So assuming that she is waiting for compensation from ICBC, so that might be a lump sum compensation for that. And the individual receiving disability benefits has a maximum amount of asset that the person can have, which is $100,000. So depending on the amount of the lump sum compensation or what Mary already has in her account, that might affect her eligibility to continuously receiving the disability benefits. Because if your access level is over the limit, then they will close your file. So that might have a significant impact. So those are the things that Mary needs to look at. And that maybe already facing because of the situation. And there may be some other scenarios. So let us assume that if Mary is turning 60, then the long-term disability, the company may ask her to apply for CPPD, well, they would do that anyway. And then the Ministry of the provincial government overseeing the disability benefits may also ask her to apply for the early CPP. So there are a lot of different things here, and then it is overwhelming because, if just consider you're already under the influence of the car accident with injury, and now you're facing that you have all the disability benefits being reduced to 0, and then you don't even have your bus pass, now you're turning 60. So that is a lot of things to consider. So what is the best situation? It's very difficult to say. But one thing we want to remember is the government will not allow you to double dip. So whatever you get from one port, they will take it away from the other. So at the end, you end up more or less the same. So I always say choose the more convenient or hassle-free process to apply. If it is not mandatory, then you don't need to go for that. If it is, maybe some other benefits may be contingent to your application of certain things, then you're kind of in a position that you need to do that. So, look at the different, look at the situation from different angles, and then you can make informed decision what to do. Some other scenario is maybe the long-term disability is coming to an end. Then in that case, if the individual is on disability benefits on the provincial level, then but the money has been reduced, the disability benefits has been reduced to 0, you probably need to have very close communication with the ministry to inform them what is happening. And then how about the medical coverage from long-term disability stops? So usually the insurance policy will cover the medical medications, treatments, and things like that, especially with ICBC claims. But remember, Mary also has the long extended health care from the provincial disability benefits. So it is important to look at this. When you go to get treatments or medications, the pharmacy or the therapist will look at your care card number and to decide whether your fee, the cost, will be covered. So sometimes if they tell you, oh, your long-term disability has stopped, your Blue Cross has stopped, just say, have they checked into your extended health care with the provincial government? So sometimes they may not be thorough enough to check into all the situations, so you need to remind them. Otherwise, you're told, okay, your Blue Cross has stopped, and now you need to pay for your medication. And sometimes it's not the situation. But saying that is, consider your file with the disability benefits is still open. If it's closed, then it is a different story. And then the insurance company may ask to apply for CPPD or the possibility to apply for post-retirement CPP or needs dental treatment, or need assistance to communicate with the government. This last point I want to stress, if the individual has a barrier in communication, have you done the representation agreement? If you have you sent a copy to the government, to the involved ministry, so that they know that they can speak to your representative? And then have you communicated with your doctor that you have a representative? A lot of times, if you have not done that, they will not talk to your representative, and then if an issue in communication, that may hinder the everything going forward. So that is complication in all this, but then it is, I always say, look at things, prioritize them, do one thing at a time, because it is overwhelming to look at everything coming together. And don't be discouraged. There are a lot of situations people already have experienced, and then you need to find out the way to handle that. So if you have any question, feel free to come and contact us, and then we will try our best to provide you with assistance. I can't say that we know how everything works, and that, but well, that is better than just worried over it by yourself. So you can find our information, how to contact us, in the description below. And we also welcome if you have any cases that you want to share with us, with our audience, we welcome that. So that is all for today, and then I hope the information is useful. Until next time, bye-bye.